Good day, saints of God, and thank you for tuning in to this webcast. Today we want to chat a little bit about God ruling in times of adversity. If you could change your circumstances, would you? And the truth is, most of us would probably respond in the affirmative. After all, who wants to go through hardships and adversity? Even right now, many of us are praying that God will remove this pandemic from before us. Everyone wants to see their burdens lifted. The reality is, however, that there are some circumstances over which we have absolutely no control. We cannot pray our way out of it, and we simply have to go through it, relying on our faith in God. Philippians chapter 1 tells the story of Paul's imprisonment. Paul found himself in prison, chained, and under the watch of Roman guards, even after a successful ministry proclaiming the gospel throughout the Roman Empire. But even in those adverse circumstances, God remained in control, and his work in and through Paul did not stop. What seemed like a hopeless situation in the apostle's life turned out to be the means God used to deliver the gospel to the entire Praetorian Guard. And Paul's adverse circumstance encouraged other believers to boldly proclaim the gospel of Christ. The same God that used Paul's circumstances for his own purpose can do so now with ours. The Bible tells us that God uses trials to build our endurance and grow us in wisdom. He can do so now during this current pandemic. Here are a few things to remember during times of adversity. First and foremost, God is in control. He limits the length and intensity of our adversity. The Bible declares that He will not suffer us more than we are able to bear. Secondly, God always has a purpose during times of adversity. Paul's imprisonment demonstrated that God's purpose was to share the gospel with the Roman guard who may not have had any other opportunity to hear it. What does God want to do during this pandemic? How does He want to use you? These are questions that we must answer. God says that He would take the things that are meant for evil and turn them around and use them for good. Even during these difficult times, God will use the adversity and use it for good. Even right now, the gospel is being shared in new and innovative ways. New converts are being reached, lives are being touched, and people are being saved. God is using this pandemic and turning it around and using it for good. And finally, adversity strengthens our faith. Adverse circumstances have a way of causing us to reflect on our lives, to focus on God, and to make honest assessments of who we are and where we are in our relationship with God. And I trust and pray that we would all take this opportunity to do that self-assessment, to see where we stand with God, and to make the appropriate changes going forward. Don't let this crisis go to waste. Do the things that God is calling you to do. Make the changes that He's calling you to make. And in all things, always remember that He is in control and He stands right by our side, even through these difficult circumstances. And in closing, brethren, remember, God did not give us a spirit of fear, but of love, power, and a sound mind. Be blessed, brethren. Be blessed.